Before we get into the game, I want to go over a few items of business. I think we should go through the tutorial. I know how the game works. In the last few months, I've been watching a hell of a lot more and playing relatively little. But, you know, been watching quite a bit. I know how the game works and all this good stuff. But a lot of people here might have no clue how it works. We're just going to go through the tutorial and all this good stuff. Another thing is that Valve has kindly provided, I think like 15-ish codes. 15-ish codes for us. So we're going to be doing a giveaway in the Discord channel. That's going to be posted here. We're also going to be doing giveaways on Gleam. That's also going to be posted here in the chat. And in YouTube, it should also be posted below. If it's not YouTube's, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yeah, so that way, some of you folks who are interested in checking the game out, you can totally investigato it. I want to see if we can do the solo play. Where even is the tutorial here? That's actually a really great question. Does anyone know? Play Artifact, bot match. I don't care. You know what? I'm going to do a tutorial. Welcome to the Day 9 tutorial for Artifact, okay? This is the Day 9 tutorial. We don't need a tutorial. I'm the tutorial, okay? Let's choose a deck. Let's choose a deck. Let's do the red-green brawler deck, huh? Boom. Blue-black control, that's totally fine. Now, I'm gonna talk to you as though you at least... Under settings, there's a reset tutorial button. Whatever. I actually like the idea of a Day 9 tutorial. Boom. Here's how this is going to work, okay? In this game, there are 3 lanes. Fuck it. I'm actually not going to do the Day 9 tutorial, man. Where is this system? Alright, guys. Welcome to the Day 9 tutorial. Yes. This is only the beginning. Alright, looks like we get our own fancy card opening animation. The red-green brawler. Alright, let's see how this puppy works, man. Let's see how this thing works. I have not been through the tutorial in a long time. But today we're going to go through the tutorial, we're going to open a bunch of packs, and I'm going to try to build a mono blue deck, which might mean nothing to you, but it's totally fine. I think the sound only increases in this game. Alright. So, here's the gist. Here's the gist. Let me actually... Woo! Come on out here, alright? You and your opponent each have towers in 3 lanes. Alright, nice. Yeah, you're trying to win. I have my volume at 4% right now. I wonder how it sounds. Okay, chat's gonna let me know. Alright, so here's the thing. In this game, we have a battlefield here, we got a battlefield here, we got a battlefield here. This is left, middle, and right lane, just like Dota. What we need to do is we need to destroy the tower in 2 out of the 3 lanes, right? Win the best 2 out of 3. However, we also can win in 1 lane twice. See how this has 40 health here? Defense tower has 40 out of 40. If that gets to 0, an ancient appears behind it that has 80 health. So we can kill that. So you basically have to win twice in 3 lanes, or win twice in 1 lane before the other opponent does that, right? Great. So what's going to happen is we're going to... by the way, you may have heard me talk about this. This game feels like a real-time, turn-based strategy game, right? Because a real-time game, like a StarCraft, this feels, to me, like I'm juggling different mini-games at once when I'm playing a StarCraft, right? I'm building the Marines, and I gotta move the worker, and I gotta make the Marines, and I gotta send the worker back to mine, and I gotta move the scout, and I gotta move the army, and I gotta research the thing, and I gotta come back, you know, all this sort of stuff. In this game, it feels a lot the same, in that I'm trying to manage, like, this health here, I'm trying to manage the health in other lanes, and so on and so forth. Here it's talking about the win condition. You have a red hero in this lane. Okay. So the heroes are the big, beefy, badass ballers. And the creeps are not. Creeps typically are smaller. And you can see this by just the numbers. What do these numbers mean? Don't worry about it, man. Don't even worry about it. Heroes are big, creeps are small. And if I have a red hero, I can cast red spells in this lane. So here it's going to let me cast a creature. And I basically plop it down somewhere in the lane. I'm not going to do anything strategic in this tutorial. I'm just going to explain how the hell this thing works for any folks who haven't. So, as you can see, it's showing, ooh, I can now hit the tower. Combat in this game works a little differently from other card games. Okay? In Hearthstone or something like this, I pick a unit, and then I choose what it attacks. I drag a little arrow. In Magic, I declare the blockers, or excuse me, I declare the attackers, then you declare the blockers, right? It feels very much so in those games like you're individually controlling, here's what you do and what you do and what you do, and what this does and what this does and what this does. This is not how Artifact works. What eventually happens, I do something, you do something, I do something, you do something. Like, I cast a spell, you cast a spell, I cast a spell, you cast a spell. And when you and I both decide we got nothing more to do, then combat happens. And everyone just cracks right into the person across from them. I'm sure it will show this right now, even though this tutorial is different than the one I seen. The targeting arrow shows that this creep will damage the creep directly across. All units automatically attack after both players pass, right? So I cast a spell, our opponent did nothing. Oh, back to me. So I hit this, boom! They crack right into each other. So essentially, what I'm trying to do in each of these boards in like a micro sense, what I'm trying to do to these boards in a micro sense is that I'm trying to arrange a configuration of troops on my side versus the configuration of troops on their side so that when they crack right into each other, I get a more advantageous trade, right? Your opponent played a spell card that did 6 damage to your tower. Now, remember, if any of you want to sound like an arrogant douchebag, just repeat after me. Health is a resource, okay? Do you know what this means? It doesn't matter. Health is a resource. I'm going to use my health as a little bit of a resource here. Yeah, see, look, Shrek G, you get it. Gosh, Shrek G, just first person in chat responding. We got one person paying attention. I love it. So here's a history bar that lets me know what's going on. Cool. Yeah, no, I see it. Oh, it wants me to double-click it. Okay. Look at it. Look at it. Look at it. I really think Valve has pretty exceptional art. I really like the quality of art. The combat preview shows how much damage each unit will receive in combat. Because let me tell you something. If anyone ever tries to do small number math, they're fucking wrong, dude. In fact, 4 minus 2, most of the chat doesn't even know what that is. I certainly don't. I know that 2 plus 2 is 4, and if you ask me another question, you're banned. Combat preview shows how much damage each unit will receive in combat. Yep, so remember what I was saying? The sort of micro objective in the game is to arrange my configuration of my units versus your units such that when they crack into each other, I win. All these numbers are sort of saying, here's what's going to happen if combat happens right now. So this X means this nerd will die. So it's letting me know, okay, I can play another creep. I'm going to play it over here because I want this to die.
For the glory of Stonehall.
Alright, so we both pass. So that dude passed. AKA didn't cast a spell. I don't have another spell that I want to cast, so I'm just going to go ahead and pass. So what's going to happen? This is going to die. This is going to lose 5 health, go to 1. It's going to lose 3 health, go to 8. Point. So you can see the 1, you can see the 8. Fucking correct, dude. Each tower starts with 3 mana. Why did the left one die? Said Denarthus. Had 4 health, needed 2 damage. I'd have to look again. You know, let's actually take a look over... Oh, well, whatever. I have no idea, Denarthus. I'd have to go back in time. You can show me a clip and I can explain later. Each tower starts with 3 mana, automatically refills each round. Oh yeah, great. I'm glad it explained something that I completely neglected to. Which is that each lane, you kind of have 3 mana, 3 mana, 3 mana. Independent. So this has 3 mana. I can't do anything. We gotta pass. Cracking into each other. Right? Shopping phase. Now, here we're actually getting... We're almost done with the basic flow of the game. Almost done with the basic flow of the game. You might be going, what the fuck is happening? Oh my god! Well, if you've ever actually played some like German-style board games, where things have phases to them, where it's like, okay, we did lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. Now we get to buy. That's just what happens. It goes lane 1, lane 2, lane 3. And then we get to purchase a thing. With what? With... money. Okay, I've discovered that I have a deficiency in my camera placement. Yeah, we have 6 coins. How do we get those? Killing stuff. Creeps give you a little bit. Heroes give you a lot of it. And then you can use these to purchase items that do stuff. Items that do stuff. You earn 1 gold for each creep and 5 gold for each hero killed. Now this Here's the juiciness, okay? Here's... I like this. I know a lot of people don't. But they're not the one who's doing the show. They're fucking wrong, dude. So this, I hear this affectionately referred to as the flop. So, what are the phases of the game? I now can tell you the entire loop of the game, right? Do lane 1, do lane 2, then do lane 3. And what are we trying to do? We're trying to arrange the configuration of our units such that when the crack happens, we have an advantageous trade. And I can also do other things to prepare for future turns and stuff, right? This is where, you know, like any strategy game, ooh, maybe I make a decision now that doesn't give me an advantageous trade this turn, but in the future will, right? It's normal strategy game shit. So right now, okay, so we do lane 1, lane 2, lane 3, then we get to buy some items. Why would we buy the items? Because we want to help it create advantageous trades in combat. You starting to understand, right? Here's the cool thing. I, at times throughout the game, will get to select a hero and deploy it into whichever lane I choose. Also, at the exact same time, we have these little creeps. Randomly, 2 of them will get distributed among these lanes. Okay, so our opponent had 2 randomly chosen for the right lane. I had 1 here and 1 here. This is the thing that some people don't like, I like. Creates some randomness, creates some new problems that I'm going to have to solve, but remember, these are creeps. These are creeps. The reason I say I'm cool with it and I like it is because this is a fucking card game. Whatever you draw is random. I don't mind some amount of random elements when I feel like I get to have impactful follow-up control. I hate when there's random bullshit that just sucks the joy right out of a moment. I'm sure that'll probably happen with creeps, but in my limited experience with Artifact is a game that most people cannot play. Right now, I can go, oh, because I have a creep here and a creep here, you know, maybe I want to put this guy in the middle, right? I can respond to it. It gives me a choice. That's kind of why I'm okay with it. But anyways. Okay, what's my strategy, though? What's my plan? What's my goal? Again, in a micro sense, I'm trying to win these battles, trying to win these little battles. For what purpose? To win in 2 of the 3 lanes by destroying the tower, or to win in 1 lane twice. So, I have to pick which of those directions I want to push in. And I think for the sake of awesomeness, I'm just going to try to focus on 1 lane, and we're just going to kind of see how it goes. We're going to try to win in 1 lane twice. Not because it's good or it's bad, but just because we're going to make a decision, we're going to see what happens. If a green and red hero are in the same lane, you can play both color cards in that lane. This was probably mentioned at some point by the tutorial, but I didn't explicitly. I have green cards. I need a green hero in the lane to cast the green cards. If I have all blue cards and I have a green hero in the lane, can't do nothing. You might be wondering what those arrows are. I think that's the weirdest part of the game, but we're just going to ignore it for now. See those arrows? This just says where they're going to attack. We'll come back to it in a little bit. Oh my god. Lightning strike shooting me. Your towers! Oh! So, spell, creep, spell. No, shut up. So, in this game, the first turn you have 3 mana, 3 mana, 3 mana. The next turn you have 4 mana, 4 mana, 4 mana. The next turn you have 5 mana, 5 mana, 5 mana. It's kind of like the same way that mana crystals grow in Hearthstone. The basic gist is that you get more stuff that you can cast as time goes on. So right now we have 4 mana. What wish we to do? Okay, so right now we have a 2 attack, 2 health creep against my 2 attack, 2 health creep. When the crack's going to happen, they're both going to die. All right, that's what these symbols represent. It's making sense so far? Making sense so far? So what do I want to do? What's my goal? I'm going to start to just briefly touch on ultra basic, I don't even call it strategy, just basic goals. I want to kill this Ogre Magi, man. Fuck this guy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to say, okay, I can deal 6 damage to this just with regular combat. Can I improve this? Hey, it looks like I found a card. I'm going to cast this on this. It appears my opponent is simply casting lightning strikes to shoot me in the face. We already have some cool things happening right now. So Ogre Magi is a hero. Heroes typically do badass things or have badass stats. Ogre Magoo has, after you cast a blue spell, there's a 25% chance to put a base copy of that card into your hand. So here's the Lightning Strike, getting multicasted again, right? Just like in any card game or any strategy game, weird combo-y synergy things that begin to grow and grow and grow and to create insane awesomeness. That's the juicy, meaty part, right? So I'm just being pretty basic. I'm just casting this thing. Now, I have no more mana, so you'll notice I can't cast any more spells, but this item card, remember I bought it? I can cast this. I don't have to pay any mana to cast this. It's an item, I bought it with gold. So this is what's interesting about the resource management in the game, right? What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be trying to cast mana with spells here to get advantageous trades, get into advantageous position with the ultimate goal of kill the damn tower. But ooh, if I get some money, ooh, I can buy all sorts of extra cards from the item shop, and then I can do stuff for 0 mana. Ooh, because I just paid with gold, huh? Item cards, as you might imagine, are different from the spells and the creatures and these kinds of things. So I don't have anything else I want to do. I'm satisfied with the basic goal I had, which is get into a spot where I can kill this ogre. So I'm going to pass. So if my opponent passes as well, combat happens. And so it does. Alright, so what do we do here? Now, here's something that I think is real important to note. Alright, this is real important to note. Maybe the most important to note. Doing nothing in a lane is pretty common. There's 2 emotions that I feel like took some getting used to. 2 emotions that take some getting used to, okay? 1, you're going to do nothing and pass a lot. It's fine. Second thing, you're going to lose all of your units on a board pretty frequently. And that's okay. If you're playing something like a Magic the Gathering, a Hearthstone, if your opponent casts a spell and blowing everything up, you lose all your units, that's just like, oh well, I guess we lost. That's when you just take both hands and you just grab your throat and you just fucking squeeze till you fall over at the computer, man. And right when you get up, you're like, oh no, that game's still going on. You just grab it again. Like, losing your whole board in those games feels bad, okay? It feels bad. And when I first started to play Artifact, it felt so bad. But it's actually way more okay than you think. So, you know, if I lost everything here, hey, I'm still winning in this lane. I'm still winning in this lane. Only got to win 2 out of 3. So I'm just going to pass. It's going to go straight to combat. Lightning Strike! Alright, now notice my opponent did something. So now once again I get the option to do anything. So I pass. My opponent can now pass. 2 passes in a row means lane's done. Now this is a very interesting little lane. Let's see what we can do here. So right now we have this Phantom Assassin. That's not Phantom Assassin at all. That's Debbie the Cunning. Who the hell is Debbie? I've been playing Dota for 2,000 hours. I don't know no Debbie. What's a Debbie? Well, this is Deborah, the Essential Oils mom, and she's a 7-1. Meticulous planner. Who would have thought that's Deborah's ability, huh? Debbie the Cunning deals +2 damage when attacking a hero or tower. Okay. Copy that. So, this... I do a lot of clicking and reading of stuff as fast as I can in this, because you'll see Debbie's dealing 7 damage, and down here it says combat preview -9, and I'm like, what the hell's... why? 7 is not the same number as 9. Oh, because it's +2, so just read a bunch of stuff. So we have some options. How do I want to influence this board into a better position? Well, right now, if I just evaluate what's going to happen at a really basic level, this is a pretty neutral exchange. I'm going to take 2 damage, but we're both going to lose a hero. I'm going to eliminate a creep. Cool. Who is this? This is Farvan, the Dreamer. Yeah, he's Farvan. Who says, Farvan the Dreamer's allied neighbors have +1 armor. What are my things? Prowler Vanguard's allied neighbors have +1 armor. Okay, Prowler Vanguard is like an armor buffer. just so you know, the way that armor works is you take the attack, you subtract the armor, that's how much damage there is. Do you understand? I like this because this is a StarCraft-style armor system. Attack minus armor equals damage. It's not like the new Dota 7.2 patch where it's like armor times 0.58 divided by 1 minus armor times... You know, it's this equation. Alright, so it's literally basic arithmetic, which, as you've seen on this stream, is one of the most difficult challenges a man can do. Modify allied creeps with +2 attack and +1 armor. Modify is a permanent change. Fully heal Selfish Cleric after this combat phase. Oh, this is an interesting one. So this could allow us to begin to bash through. Let's see. Modify allied creeps. So I think that both my creeps are living. I don't have a good place to set the Prowler Vanguard, so I'm going to put the Selfish Cleric. You'll note I can only put it here. You have to put it either in a valid slot right in front of an enemy, or if this entire board was full, I'd be able to place it here or here. The rule of thumb is battlefields have to be as small as possible.
I can stand here all day.
Okay, so my opponent passed, so now I passed. Now, I want to talk about something that's called initiative or priority. It basically is, who the hell's turn is it in lane 1 when we get back to there? Let's think about this, right? My opponent just passed. I just passed, so I hit the button. When we get back to that lane, it's going to be my opponent's turn. And we're going to track who has priority throughout this. So it's not just our opponent's always going to be, you know, first person going. It's going to depend, and we're going to kind of track through it. So you saw that notification. When your heroes die, you can then take your hero, wait a turn. You see how it says -1 here? That means you got to wait 1 turn, because it just died this turn. After a turn, your hero will get a check mark. And then once your hero has the check mark, then you can redeploy the hero. So I want you to think about this as Dota. Okay? Screw priority for a moment, screw all that stuff. We do battle in lane 1, battle in lane 2, battle in lane 3, buy some stuff, place the hero that has now respawned wherever the hell we want. Do lane 1, do lane 2, do lane 3, buy some items, place any respawn heroes in whatever lane we want. And it's always 2 turns. There's no extending respawn timer, none of that stuff. It's actually remarkably simple feeling once it clicks. It feels utterly overwhelming at first. You're just like, oh, why do I have an item store? Oh, the hero's gone, the hero's back, right? There's fucking crazy shit going on. It's pretty basic. Fight in a lane, fight in a lane, fight in a lane. Buy an item, place a hero if they're ready to respawn. So let's see here. Let's get something cool. A Ring of Tarrasque, that's a new item in Dota 2. Gives you, I think, what is it? It's like plus 150 health and plus 3.75 mana regen. Patch 7.2 dropped today, so I'm going to have to set aside 48 hours to watch Purge's patch review video. Ring of Tarrasque, equip hero has plus 4 health and plus 6 regeneration. Ooh, this is good. Health is their health. Regeneration is each turn how much health they regain. Let's do that. Short Sword is, we're just going to buy out all these items. Heal a unit 6, why not? Let's just do this. Cool. There's some buttons, and there's some things that might be causing questions. No, I'm not going to worry about it. Just not going to worry about it that much. Just not going to worry about it that much. Okay. So we have something interesting happening right now. Okay. Here's deployment. Let's actually try to think a little bit about strategy. Right now, highest level goal, win in 2 of the 3 lanes, or win in 1 lane twice. I'm going to commit everything to this 1 lane, for the most part, just so we can see what happens. We're going to try to win 1 lane twice. So, our opponent, right now, has 2 heroes to deploy, but has no heroes out. So in one of these lanes, our opponent will not be placing any heroes. If I had to estimate, I would assume that, like, some different ways that our opponent might evaluate is, wow, I'm really screwed in lane 1. Sean has 2 heroes there, and I'm not going to worry about it this time. So I'm going to put 1 hero here, 1 hero here. This is what I would expect. This is a pretty basic thing to do. I put my hero here because I don't have a hero here. Let's do it. I'm still going to be mostly focused on lane 1. So, you see, we had our opponent place 1 hero here, 1 hero here. With some pretty basic logic behind it, we were able to correctly predict it. Oh, let me scoot myself over just a smidge more. There's no limit to the number of cards in your hand. Drag sideways to scroll. So I can use my scroll wheel. Now, how do I want to do this? Modify allied creeps. We can buff those. So here is one of the weird things. Generally, things attack forward. Generally, things attack forward. You ever played Dota? Ever played an RTS? Generally, things attack forward. Generally, things attack forward. Every now and again, things wind up attacking what's next to them. That's it. This is called a pathing card. Generally, things go forward, but sometimes they turn and crack right into the right. Again, another little bit of RNG. But now that it's presented me that RNG, I have an opportunity to like change and respond to that. And I think that's the weirdest thing. So it randomly gives pathing. If you've ever, again, played any RTS, played any Dota, you have some like weird unit movement that happens sometimes that actually creates some depth and richness there. And they translated that to the card game. Modify Satyr Duelist with +2 attack after the combat phase. I think I'm just gonna play a Satyr Duelist here to try to actually pump myself up.
With you by my side, there's no enemy I can't fell.
Equipment can be played on any hero. So, what I might try to do is I might try to say, you know what, I want to just keep this guy alive forever, so I'm going to cast an item on him. Cool, so now he has the Ring of Tarrasque. That's pretty nice. I can equip like a short sword on this guy if I feel so inclined. I'm not going to do that. I'm just sort of casting spells. And we're just going to hit go. A couple things are going to happen. This is going to die because of 6 damage from, who's this? Keith the Bold. All right, we got Keith and a Bronze Legionnaire. Both of these two are going to whack right into this. Oh, I forgot about this ability. Lycan's allied neighbors have +2 attack. So I should have played this Satyr Duelist. Instead of on the right side, I should have played it on the left side, which is fine. But this also has the ability, after the attack phase, it'll buff itself up. So now we're actually starting to get into like the card game feel, right, of stuff cracking into one another, combos starting to come up. Alright, cool. Okay, so if I look at Sven as a card, Sven's health is normally at 11. You don't have to double click. I can actually just hover over the health and see that, oh, normally Sven has 11 health. I'm kind of sad about that, so I'm just going to use his healing salve and buff up Sven. There you go. What a guy. What's new orders? Choose an ally, choose a combat target for it. So I could, ooh, I think I see a play. Let's try to accomplish our miniature goal of every single little battle. How do I try to get a good trade here? Well, I'm going to choose an allied unit, choose an ally, and then choose a new combat. So I'm going to take this. And it can only hit things that are close to it. If there was a unit over here, it couldn't do that. So I'm just gonna have it target the Necrophos. And you'll see now Necrophos is going to die. We're crushing it, man. Health is a resource. So if I look at this, this just looks like a good lane for us, man. We are dominating this. We are clearing the whole thing off.
At least I won't be dead.
What do I want to do? Equipped hero has some bounty. I'm just going to buy the leather armor, buy the blade, buy the cloak, buy the short sword. That's fine. Okay. So we're skipping over some details. Now, what did you hear me say a few turns ago? I said, we're going to go all in on lane 1. We're going to put tons of spells and resources and creatures here to do this. Whoa, wait a minute. If I look at lane 1, this has 15 health, and I'm already going to deal 23 damage to it this turn. You can see it up here. This tower's dead this turn. And I'm noticing lane 2 and lane 3 are also looking pretty good. You know, I think I might actually just, instead of trying to win twice in lane 1, just try to win in lane 1 and lane 3. So that's where I'm going to put my hero. So I want to just differentiate a little bit between the sort of coarse goal and strategy I'm going for versus super specific detailed strategy type stuff. Like the I'll ignore that for just a brief moment. No, yeah, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah, no, you want me to read it? There it is. I'm reading it. Get out of here. Leave me alone. No, I see it. I see it. Leave me alone. Is it bugged? No, I know. I'm looking at it. I'm reading it. Jesus. I'd like to report a bug. All right. So, the course strategy that I'm having was win in this lane twice. I'm realizing there's an opportunity here, so I'm kind of changing my course strategy to win in 1, win in 2. Or excuse me, win in 1 and win in 3. Right? The specific nuances of the strategy, like, oh, I need to worry about turn 7, you know, Thunder God's Wrath, or, okay, I'm going to play around this spell and not this spell, and all those sorts of things. That's like the detail stuff that I feel like bakes out over time. But just at a high level, the only thing I really want to communicate is that distinction. So if I look at this lane, I might say to myself, you know what? Okay, how do I maybe win this trade? I'm just going to equip a short sword, which gives +2 attack. So now Lycan becomes a 6/10. This means this is going to be dead. -2 armor? What a dick. I don't. And I look at this and I'm like, okay, I'm good. I want to briefly do some initiative tracking. So here is my opponent just did something, so I'm going to pass. So what's my opponent going to do? Maybe do something again. Here's me. I've killed a tower. Destroy the ancient tower to win. And because I passed first and then my opponent passed, I was the first person to pass on the previous board. So now I get to go first on this board. Okay, so how do I wish to win this? Modify a red here with +1 attack and +1 armor. That's pretty good. And this is just... Deborah is just receiving damage from this creep. So let's see here. Fighting Instinct, modify a hero, modify a red hero. What do we want to do? So, one thing that's unfortunate in this lane is that this cloak, this armor, all these items basically only affect the hero. So I can't really do anything to buff this that much. Red tends to be very hero focused. So here's what I'm going to do. Nothing. I'm just going to pass. Yeah, we're going to lose a Bronze Legionnaire. Fine with that. What's nice is that I'm passing. Initially, I was passing because I wanted to make sure that I could have initiative for the next lane. Our opponent just played a creature in front of Sven. Sven's ability is Great Cleave, which means Sven deals full damage to this unit and then half damage to the adjacent unit. So now Deborah, formerly who was going to live, now is going to die due to cleave damage. So great. What a sick play. I'm going to pass again because I want initiative in the next lane. Great. Fantastic exchange.
Not very impressive.
All right. What the heck just happened? Remember that thing that I was skipping over a little bit before? This is my favorite part of this entire game. Improvements. You can cast a permanent buff on a lane, like an enchantment, and this just causes some permanent effect every time you get to that lane. So this just says deal 1 piercing damage right when you get to the lane. My favorite card in the entire game is a Barracks. It spawns a creep in that lane every single turn. You can have as many improvements in any lane as you want. There's no limits in this game. This game is like absolutely, we want you to go completely out of control. So our opponent actually used mana in this lane, first lane. See how it says 3 out of 6? Spent mana in this lane to cast the improvement to this lane. Fucking cool, huh? So then we went to this lane. Whole bunch of stuff. Doth died. Okay, modify a red hero with +4 attack. Well, I mean, I still feel like we're in pretty dang good shape. But I really would love to... Is this a modify? Yeah, let's do this. I really do want to start winning in this lane because I claimed that was my strategy, and I'm trying to be loyal to my claims. Like, screw whether it's good or bad. This is an example, okay? So we're going to go hard on this. Now, watch how the priority functions in this. So first, I'm going to cast Modify Red here with +1 attack and +1 armor. My opponent passes, does nothing. It's back to me again. Oh, you think I'm done, huh? Has +2 attack and +2 cleave. Boom, on Ursa. Now Ursa's doing some cleave damage. How much cleave damage does this do? What's cleave do? Oh, I see how cleave works. Cleave is it deals 2 damage to the neighbors. I thought it... Never mind. I just misunderstood how the keyword worked. It works intuitively. So my opponent passes, does nothing. It's back to me. I'm going to short sword over here on whoever this is, Farvan. What else do I want to do? You know, I'm going to equip some leather armor onto Ursa, so Ursa takes no damage. Alright, so you're noticing that I'm playing a card, opponent passes. I'm playing a card, opponent passes. I'm playing a card, opponent passes. So this means because my opponent is just always first to pass, our opponent is going to keep initiative. Is going to get the first move in each of them lanes.
I must be ready for what's to come.
Equip here has +4 attack. Yeah. I'll get a healing salve as well. Fritz is happy to be back Day9 TV in my Amazon Prime sub-rotation. Cheers to you, my friend. By the way, these arrows, what do these arrows represent again? Remember, these are pathing arrows. So most of the time our units swing straight on forward. Some of the times they path to the left, path to the right a little bit, and wind up running into something. So for instance, you see how this ogre, Keef, crashes straight in here. So now Keef is not actually going to go forward to the tower, but is instead going to attack left. Alright, so what do we want to do? Here's where I'm going to take a step back. Avernus's Blessing, modify unit with +2 attack. This buffs armor of things. This permanently buffs creatures. I have a crap load of cards, generally speaking. So, okay. Here is something that I might notice. I might notice to myself, oh man, over here in this lane, my opponent's playing a ton of heroes, but look at all these X's. This is already looking like a good exchange for me. We've already won here, so I don't want to waste too much cards over in this lane. I think I'm just gonna pass. I'm not that worried. I'm seeing over in that third lane. Okay. Now I think we're gonna have our first interesting turn. No accident says deal 3 damage to a unit. Oh no, my Lycan was dying, man. I don't like that. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm just gonna heal him. Alright, pretty basic.
I will show no mercy.
Equip hero has +2 attack. Alright, so our Bronze Legionnaire is gonna die. Because it's taking 5 damage and has 2 health. Is there something that we might want to do? I don't think so. I think we're actually totally fine. Our opponent is going to lose the creep and the hero. I'm more than content to lose a particular little nerd. What just happened? Another improvement was cast on a previous turn. Trebuchets deal 2 piercing damage to the enemy tower before the action phase. I've skipped over a lot of what the specific keywords mean because that's the detail work. I'm trying to stay at the coarse, broad, high level, just so things make sense. Now that we've learned a little bit, piercing means ignore armor, deal this much damage. If it had deal 2 damage and I had 1 armor, 2 minus 1 is 1, I would take 1 damage. If it said deal 2 damage and I had 2 armor, it wouldn't take any damage. Because it's piercing, it's always going to take 2. So again, I feel really good about the way this lane's going. I could arguably try to win in this lane. It seems totally fine. But I'm looking at this glorious spree of X's. We're getting hurt a little teensy tooch here. God's strength. This is the Blade of the Vigil. This is taking 3 damage from the cleave and the -1 armor from the Fury swipes. Whenever Ursa deals combat damage, modify the unit with -1 armor. There is such a thing as negative armor. What do I even want to do here? I feel really good about this lane. Let's see here. Dude, screw this. I'm going to start summoning some creatures, man. I want to play some creatures. I want to get thick in this lane. Fully heal a unit. Perfect. So you know what? I'm going to keep spending some mana. I'm going to modify this so it's dealing some more. Alright, looks like Jaemui the Wise has some sort of draw a card ability. That's pretty tight. Alright. This is just a short sword. Okay, so here's another mechanic in this game. If I have a hero that already has a weapon, and I equip a new weapon, it deletes the old weapon and puts in the new one. So our opponent appears to have drawn some cards. I'm very happy with how this exchange is going to go. Well, I do wish I could kill this dude. Maybe I should have crippling blown this, but I didn't have enough mana.
Ready to fight.
Shopping phase. Poaching Knife. Equip hero has +2 attack. Get 5 gold after an enemy hero dies. Okay, so this is just like a doubling thing. Keep going in this. Buy that. Whatever. Game's almost done. Okay, none of my heroes are dying, so I don't have anything to deploy. So I'm just kind of like sitting here on the flop. Now, I want to note something that is super duper important. Stop it, game. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Stop showing me cards. I'm trying to tutorialize for you, man. So I want you to note that on one hand, hey, my heroes haven't been dying. These two guys have been alive all game. Sven's killing it. Lane 3, yeah, and we're blowing up heroes all the time. But notice that I'm kind of stuck in a relatively inflexible position. Even though losing a hero does stink some, you lose the hero, boo. Can't cast spells there anymore. Your opponent gets some money. Well, you can then be a little more flexible in your redeployment. And so, red heroes tend to be huge. Blue heroes tend to be tiny. Blue heroes die a shitload. I learned this lesson the hard way. We're going to be doing a lot of blue today, man. I really like blue in this game. So even though we're looking good moving forward, I just want to note how in the last few turns, because we've had nothing to deploy, we couldn't really do anything on this particular phase. Alright, what now? What do I want to do? Do I care that much about this lane? Probably not. Modify all allied creeps? Dude, why not? Why wouldn't I? Give allied heroes +4 cleave this round. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do Arm the Rebellion. I'm just going to pump this lane up, man. This is going to be tight. Black hero would deal 2 piercing damage to this hero's name before the action phase. Oh, that's Heartstopper Aura. That's fine. We don't give a damn. How about +4 cleave, huh? Modify with +4 health. Well, shit. How does this thing's damage work? Keith de Bold. I really wanted to be able to kill that guy. Damn. Alright, I'll just pass. Good thrunk. Okay, so my overall strategy. What's God's strength do? This is just +4 damage. There's nothing we can really do here, because this guy's here. Just passing. There's not a lot of drama that can happen. You know, just for the sake of interestingness, I'm going to return this to the fountain. Deploy him somewhere else next turn. Just because I can. Passing it back and forth. Foresight. Drawn 2 cards. Isn't Ignite cool? Isn't it cool? Okay, so in this position, looking at the broad strategy, next turn, there's a possibility I can actually kill this tower twice. This is looking a little bit like a wash. Not a lot of threats here. Oh. But in this lane, it actually looks like I'm going to win right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pass. I'm just going to pass. It looks like my strategy, switching from all-in on lane 1 to switching to lane 1 and lane 3, it's actually panning out. What is this? Choose a unit, choose a combat target for it. Aha! So what our opponent did was actually take this Ursa, redirect it over here to Ogre Magi, and now look, we don't deal enough damage to kill the tower. It's really cool. Is there any way for me to push in with some extra damage? It doesn't actually look like it, because we can only modify red heroes with these red cards. So dang, it looks like our opponent managed to successfully stay alive for a turn. Mystic Flare, deal 12 damage, evenly divided among units and allied neighbors. Blue has a lot of really good 6/7 mana spells. It is a good day to pass. Oh my god. Oh my god, it is Yo Larson, the winner of the BTS tournament stream. I'm just going to buy this and pass along. Okay, so remember, Sven didn't die, but I did cast that spell on Sven to pull it back to the fountain, because I wanted to redeploy. And you know what? Who doesn't love going back to the original plan, you know what I mean? So I'm actually not putting a hero in lane 2. I'm ignoring it, man. Going back this way, man. We are applying pressure back over here. Alright. What the hell just happened? What was just cast? What the shit? What was that? Did you just hear the blur? What? A meticulous planner. Yeah, I know, but what was that? Was that just the Heartstopper animation? Okay, oh. That did not used to have that animation. I was, I was like... Alright. Alright, so the first thing is that I just moved Sven here, man. I want to keep Sven alive. It's going to take 9 damage. We can get health, we can get armor and retaliate. I think the retaliate doesn't matter that much. Swap Rebel Decoy with another ally. Yeah, I actually kind of like that a little bit more. Does the swap work like this?
I'll protect the tower.
Ooh, this works.
Alright, so we have some nice rearrangement here. This is a really interesting little turn. I really liked how this turn played out. I didn't want to get Sven killed, so rather than spend cards trying to make Sven stronger, I just swapped Sven out of the way. You know, again, trying to go in and kill the tower. However, our opponent responded just by blowing that one up, so it kind of stinks a little bit. Why does this guy have so much? Oh, that's the Satyr Duelist. Ah, crap. Damn, I'm actually going to lose this guy, man. That's so sad. Total 5 health. I can healing salve this, and I actually think I am going to.
Thank you.
Grazing shot, deal 2 damage to a unit in any lane. That's fine. So, what do we want to do? 4 attack this round. How do I just make things more awesome? Oh, this is just permanently +4 attack? Dude.
Match my strength.
Get huge, Sven, man.
The sisterhood can change the tide.
Alright, that's fine. Whoa. Fountain Flask, fully healing that. Stinks some, but that's alright. Just gonna keep passing, because this exchange looks okay. We're gonna take some tower damage to clear out the whole way. Choose a combat target for Assassin's Apprentice. Dang. Alright, so the Assassin's Apprentice got re-targeted to our Satyr that we were trying to save. Our Satyr we liked a lot because the Satyr was growing in power every single turn. I might actually lose this lane, that's like so funny.
You have brought this on yourself.
Dude, double ignite in this lane, that's so tight. What a tight way to play. So what's going to happen now is we're going to take damage here because we can't do anything. And remember, our opponent has been casting ignites in this lane. So now it's going to be 2 damage. Watch this.
The end is coming.
Okay. So it's time to use one of the most awesome quotes that so many card game players have said to me for so many years. Let's just see what he does. We're winning. Let's just pass and see what he does. Let's just see what he does. Heartstopper Aura deals additional damage. We're still winning. That's fine. We're going to pass. And there it is. The win! Kaboom! Oh, look at the size of those polygons. Victory. Your opponent's towers have been destroyed. Back to menu. Oh, are you gonna make me play another one? No, I'm not. I'm not gonna. All right, skip training. We're done. We're good. From here, you can play Artifact. Play Artifact. All right, let's see here. Let's go to collection. Where my packs at? There we go. All right, we're gonna be opening packs. So, basically, you now get the gist of the game. Our goal is, at a very high, broad level, win twice in one lane, or win once in 2 different lanes. So there's 2 different winning conditions. So we've not actually talked about more specific strategy. So that's cool. You get to pick a deck for each lane. No, you get one deck that has colors of cards, and you have heroes that get slammed down in the lanes, and you can cast the cards from your hand as long as the color of the card in your hand matches the color of the hero in the lane. So you use one deck, and you kind of distribute spells and abilities across those.